Oke guys, kita lanjut ke match yang kedua, game pertama ya, antara Geek melawan Nipflash. Akhirnya Hades Kocak melawan mantan timnya ya guys ya. Tapi Vincent di sini dia pakai Ling cuy. Sama-sama jago sih.
Absolutely. I think on top of that also, and something that is established about Jushin is that she needs time, right? She doesn't have burst damage, she needs time. So if you're immobile, life is tough, get used to it. But you do have certain ways of NIP Flash that they dealt with Jushin yesterday. Just be mobile.
Yeah, I think one of the key items that we should highlight is also the dominance eyes. You need the dominance eyes on both JPL and the EDF, just because there is an Arlot and Ruby. We spoke about the sustain that they always look for. And I think what's really good of dominance eyes is not only does it reduce, you know, the lifesteal effects that these two heroes can bring.
Baloy
found out by Hades, but again, so far NIP Flash very, very disciplined. JPL has been being fine and dandy with his mirroring since yesterday, and he's doing it, right? Keeping up with Baloy despite being on a Minotaur.
And IP Flash taking it slow. Yes, they've seen some aggression come up from Geek, but that's also because of Jushin. But look at how tanky this Minotaur is in the early game. I think what Jushin really brings to the table is that vision. There's not really many heroes out there in Mobile Legends Bang Bang at this point in time that can give vision, right? Selena being one of them. Obviously, there's also the Lawyer when she casts a second skill. But more importantly, with Jushin coming up, you can get the vision without putting yourself in too much of a risk.
Yeah. And Adamir is going to try and zone a boy and gobs out of experience. You have courtesy there as well. Another thing we observed yesterday was if you get Purify onto the Jushin, it does take away her escape capabilities and make her more vulnerable. But this time, boy, he's forced to go on that Purify. And Adam is going to hit it for first alongside courtesy, but Geek they're going to hit that timing as well. Turtle is up.
Yeah. Most of the key heroes now all hitting that level 4 except for Baloyski and JPL. But look at that, NIP, they want to take the fight.
Again, the Purify pop by a boy. Back playing distraction.
Walah, kena frozen. Aduh, Adamir. Aboy. Mantap Baloy. Nice banget Vincent.
Into a first blood, and it's Geek off to a great start.
Yeah, a little bit of fortune over Cortese. They're just casting the Frigid Glacier, but Geek none of the members were caught. Well, one member was caught, but it wasn't the key heroes. And I think for NIP Flash, they must be feeling a bit sour about that, considering that, you know, you want to get Hades on this snowball on the Roger that he's playing.
And that's where the Purify comes into play, right? A boy saving himself and getting assists in the process. Geek getting turtle #1. At the same time, Chadera taking out most of Owl's HP pool, forcing JPL to show up, but with Baloyski around, Geek having a lot more solid control topside.
Yeah, Baloyski just protecting Kajera at this point. You want this Moskov to come online as quickly as possible. And on the side of NIP Flash, well, you do have a Harif. So both heroes are pretty evenly matched, although they provide different styles in team fights. You know, with the Harif, it's a lot more AoE controlled. With Moskov, it's about just shredding the entirety of that single target in the front line.
While we have a bit of time,
Corrosion side udah diamankan oleh Chadera ya.
That for the second series of Stream A and Stream B, it's all Group A games. And this is where the Matrix will be warped, right? Depending on the results on the other streams, it might affect the here as well. Adamir getting ganked, a dive coming through. Adamir dashes away with the onwards. Doesn't have the primal ramp.
Tipis banget, kelas Vincent.
By Vincent.
Now, a little unfortunate there for Adamir, but Geek doing a good job at applying pressure. They are slightly in the lead, so, you know, it's only right that they try to make the advantage scale even more. And yes, it is only slightly under 1,000, but when you have a Ling as well as a Moskov, this is what you're looking for, right? A peaceful early game, you have a lead, good. But at the end of the day, it's the late game. It's where the Ling can look to push out the side lanes, come in and go for the back line when there's a pick-off, and then for the Moskov to join the fight using that Spear of Misery.
And we have
destruction.
And we are seeing something from Geek A boy on this Jushin. We talk about, okay, Hades and Owl, they're a bit more mobile, but everyone else on NIP Flash, the core pillars of the team, they don't have that luxury, right? So Jushin has been the facilitator for all these rotations. Shows up, JPL can go forward. Same with Adamir. NIP Flash gonna put in the back foot a little bit. JPL spotted out, lifted up, back, tries to run.
Minion Fury.
But it's a flicker to get up boy and Baloy out of there. JPL though will be safe for now. Gob shows up, final slash.
Aduh, tombaknya tipis banget loh Chadera. Tapi Vincent dapat sih. Mantap lah ya.
Gobs in a rough pace, but Adamir, good patience with that arm burst into
Gobsnya
a
mati
freeze
guys,
hour with the
ya rugi
collection.
dong.
This is really interesting.
Harusnya
Both,
hitungannya
you know,
imbang
both
bro,
front
romer
liners,
ke romer.
Romer's going down really early, but Adamir still looking for more.
There's the
Kurji.
kind of baited a little bit by Adamir.
Iya.
Goes into the passive. Vincent comes out of it. Adamir still has the primal wrath form. Tempest of Blaze
Set-
has the
set-
response. The freeze does not connect,
tipis.
but Vincent
Mantap.
dashes away, and
Masih
Geek
aman,
Fam
guys.
will not get the second turtle.
And in the middle of it all, NIP Flash, perfect rotation coming out to get the
Galaxy.
Harif to bot lane. I think Kadera's doing really well of pushing out those waves, but Harif has to be careful. But Loyski and Gobs.
Well, I'll actually try
Walau
to fight this once the turtle burst.
awalnya
Cannot
terlalu
get it in time
dalam,
to
guys.
protect the structure.
Tapi masih
Almost
selamat
kill
loh,
gets out, but Gobs will not let that happen. A flicker into a kill.
Nggak jadi selamat,
NIP
bos.
Flash kind of fumbling the
Set dah.
ball.
Yeah, well, I tried to give Ours the heads up there, right? You're up against an Ourlot and a Ruby. They can displace you from where they are, and I think, you know, Owl found that out really quickly. But NIP Flash here, I think they're doing a good, decent job, but Geek Fam, on the other hand, doing an even better job at getting this aggression. And I think for a boy on this Zeusing, what you want is the early game, because we spoke about Zeusing, right? Mana or not, is she good? You know, is she not? A lot of teams have been experimenting with her. I think Zeusing is one of those heroes where you want to be ahead. This is where her potential shines. When you're playing from behind, even if you have the lantern, you know, there's not really much you can do.
They pull on the JPL.
GPL, Minion Fury.
The ultimate, and now to back him up,
Eh?
JPL just could not catch a break.
And they're harassing this
Malah
Mantan.
mati,
This
guys,
is
ya.
great coming up from Beloyski and Gobs.
A boy, ultimate, the free Glacier getting used, but doesn't really matter though. Gobs
Kelas
finding a
ya,
double
boynya, guys.
kill. Final
Mantap.
slash does not connect,
Hades
not
Kocak
that
pun
it
mati.
matters. Geek Fam
Gelo.
offers a big fight in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think
Vincent
NIP
dibiarin
Flash
snowball
doesn't
gini,
expect
guys.
this level
Waduh,
pressure coming
hati-hati
up
dah.
from both Beloyski and Gobs. They're constantly hunting
Sumpah,
anyone
hati-hati
they can
aja nih,
find.
Flash.
Doesn't really matter if it's the Harif, doesn't matter if it's the Minotaur. As long as they have a clear target that can burst down, they will go for it. And because of that, Geek Fam now find the space they need for both the Ling and Moskov to farm. Look at this, right? 7 minutes in, they are already 3.3k goal lead up.
And Gobs just got the War Axe, right? More damage, more fighting capabilities. And I think it's a good time to start talking about NIP Flash. What is the contingency plan? Especially when you have a draft that needs
Ada
so much
turtle,
farm.
tapi Vincent udah pakai retrinya, bro.
This is rough for NIP Flash, because like you said, they need a lot of farm to get the items out of both the Idith, the Roger, and on top of it, and Harif. I think there's really only one way to do about it, right? You need JPL to play a little bit more conservative. He's been standing a little bit too far in front. He's been getting
Tapi
caught
Kadera
up by
bisa
both
dapet sih
Ruby and
itu.
Arlot. Obviously, you know, credit
Atau
to
enggak malah
Baloyski
Vincent.
and Gobs to make that happen. But I think on NIP Flash, you have to take the back foot here. You
Tanpa
have to play
retri.
more, safe in terms of your positioning, ensure that these pickoffs don't happen.
Geek Fam starting to walk into the jungle of NIP Flash as well. Orange
Set-
buff will
set
have to be
Vincent.
surrendered, and Hades
Menang
is gonna
satu
feel
level,
the
guys,
heat.
Vincent,
The
guys.
lead that Geek Fam have is starting to spill into the NIP Flash side. Orange buff taken away.
Tercuri sudah,
Hades
guys,
gets
ya.
nothing.
Oh, I don't think Hades wants to be in this position, but we have seen time and time again, when all hope is lost, Hades can pull something out of his bag. We'll see whether that happens, but coming back to this replay, look, once again, a very early Fusion Glacier being put out the bag from the side of Cortesia, and once that's done, you don't really have much. Yeah, there's the Minion Fury to follow up, but Geek Fam is so far ahead, they don't really care. There's no damage dealer by their side to finish the fight off.
Even JPL has been using the Minoan Fury as a means to defend himself, right?
That's
He
not a good sign.
doesn't want to get lifted up, doesn't want to get pulled, doesn't want to get swiped to the side. Clock of Destiny and Glowing Wand for a boy, so you're constantly getting burned by the magic damage. Purple buff on the side of NIP Flash on the threat as well. He's missing that ultimate, but it's all to secure the resource for his
Vincent
jungler.
udah 3 item, guys. Buset, ada Thunderbolt juga, bro. Gelo.
It's gonna be jumped
Adamir.
down. Rav gets used.
Satu
We
hit.
get the safety,
Nice
but
banget,
final
Gobs.
followed up from Gobs is just immaculate.
I feel so tired looking at this game. It's like Geek Fam is all over the map and just constantly trying to find pickups just when NIP Flash were ready to give up that tier to the bot lane. Well, because of the
Duitnya aja beda 4.000, 6.000 ya, guys ya.
Jir
lah. Buluh, boleh. Nice banget. Gila, guys. Tinggal Adamir doang loh. Adamir doang, guys. Bayangin aja, guys. Buset. Langsung mau N kah? Buset dah. Bisa sih ini. Adamir. Nah, langsung wipe out, guys ya. Gelo. Mahal. Gak bisa mati karena turret, guys. Kipak lah. Oke lah ya, kita lanjut ke match selanjutnya cuy. Ini terlalu membantai bos, gila. Game yang kedua ya, bye bye.